No, you should send me those.
Listen, thank you all for being here today. It is a very happy, celebratory day, and so many of you in this audience are the reason we're here today. I don't get confused about without you, without your prayers, without your impact. You have been a very integral part of this very important day for all of us who support life, and for those who support the health of Texas women. In signing House Bill 2 today, we celebrate and further cement the foundation on which the culture of life in Texas is built upon. This is a bill that protects unborn babies after the 5th month of a pregnancy. We know that not very far past that point, children can survive and thrive with the appropriate care. New research, advanced technology give prematurely born children a renewed chance of life. And I think that should give pause to all of us as we argue the definition of viability, consider the human impact of abortion. At 5 months, many studies indicate these children feel the pain of their own deaths. It is our responsibility and duty to give voice to the unborn, the individuals whose survival is at stake. This bill lives up to that responsibility. It also is our responsibility to improve the quality of care for women in this state, ensuring that any procedure they undergo is performed in clean, sanitary, and safe conditions by capable personnel. We've witnessed far too many stories from Philadelphia to Houston and elsewhere about reckless doctors performing abortions in horrific conditions. We've heard stories about women getting sick, even dying after treatment in such places. At the end of the day, House Bill 2 makes sure that anyone performing abortions in the state of Texas is doing so in a facility that meets appropriate safety guidelines, and that people there are prepared to handle any emergencies that might occur. That is reasonable. That is common sense expectation for those caring for the health and safety of the people of the state of Texas. Today's signing, though, definitely builds upon our continued commitment to protecting life in the state of Texas. Over the past 10 years, we've passed laws requiring parental consent to their minor daughter's abortion, ensuring parents will be involved, ready to provide that much-needed guidance and advice at one of the most critical of moments. We funded and promoted alternatives to abortion, providing counseling for women on the other options that won't stop the beating heart of the baby. And the reason is because children do deserve the respect of simple recognition before their lives are tragically cut short. I want to thank everyone again that was involved in making today's signing a reality. Hurst and Speaker Strauss, bill's authors, sponsors, and for all of you who stood up and made a difference. No one will ever have to ask you, where were you? The baby's life has been saved. I would like to ask my friend and a great partner over the course of the years, the Lieutenant Governor, to say a few words.
Governor Perry, thank you. And Governor, your defense of the preborn over the years will go down as a key part of your legacy as the governor of the state of Texas. As I look out this morning and I see from Dr. Jeffers and I see from Joe and Jim and I see Diane and I see Elizabeth and I see so many leaders of the pro-life movement, it seems like I prayed, and Kathy, it seems like last week I prayed with each and every one of you over and over again. Carol, thank you for being here. Thank you for your leadership. You know, I'll never forget, Senator, the moment, I guess it was early Saturday morning, when I struck I gavelled on the dais, marking the final vote of House Bill 2. We had passionate debate for hours and hours, and 19 senators came together, Democrat, Republican, to improve the health of women and to protect the unborn. This was a democratic, orderly process that has made our state great over the years. But this bill is still being watched under the watchful eye of the rest of the country. And once again, Texas is leading the way. What perhaps wasn't so visible behind the scenes was our efforts to prevent another repeat of the intentional chaos created by the radical left and disrupted by the International Socialist Organization, MoveOn.org, and others. And I want to thank John Sneed and the State Preservation Board. I want to thank Director Steve McCraw and the DPS. They did an outstanding job. I really shouldn't get into numbers, but north of 250 big folks were here last week. If you ever want to drive fast in the state of Texas, you should have done it last week. I want to thank, for all of our leadership in the Senate, Senator Jane Nelson and her great job. I want to thank two great warriors, Senator Glenn Hager and Representative Jody Largo. This was a victory for women's health and the unborn. You know, don't let anyone tell you anything different. We care about women's health. And as we celebrate, actually, House Bill 2's higher standard of care for women in abortion clinics, it brings us to the same level of 27 other states. Clinics who don't comply, they don't shut down. They continue to provide women's health. They just can't provide an abortion.
Amen.
And if you care about the preborn, today there will be a smaller window from 6 months to 5 months. Now you may think, is that important. It saves babies' lives. And 34 other states across the country have earlier deadlines, have earlier restrictions to protect the unborn than the state of Texas until we sign this bill, including California. Can you believe it? California. And most of Western Europe, including France. Now, these aren't any radical notions. These are efforts to help protect women's health and to protect our babies. Over the years, being a partner with Governor Perry, working with our fine members in the Senate and the House, we have passed one important bill after another, from parental consent, from a woman's right to know, making it a crime to harm an unborn baby. That's why today, under Texas law, if, God forbid, a pregnant woman were to be murdered, it would be 2 lives, not 1. The sonogram bill, and now House Bill 2. This has been a great effort of all of us working together. As I close, I just want to say that I understand that this has been a divisive issue. And I believe this with all my heart, that for those who may be outside chanting, for those who don't agree with us, we love you. We love you just as much as we love those unborn babies. As Americans, we believe in the First Amendment. We respect your right to free speech. As Texans, we respect your toughness. But I made a commitment, we made a commitment, we were going to pass this bill, and we did.
Governor, thank you. We saw 2 examples of great courage and capability to defend their positions on in this case, the House floor. And Jody, you make us proud to be a partner with you, and if you would come alive.
Well, I tell you what, this is a momentous day for the cause of life. And I want to begin by thanking my colleagues. As the governor said, I was at the front line laying out the bill. But let me tell you, this was a collective effort. And my women who are beside me, standing behind me and beside me, one who was suffering from a major infection in her leg, stood the entire time with me. Seeing members fighting off points of order, Chairman Cook, who led the committee hearing, I think 3 times now, did a phenomenal job. And the bill, the fact that we were able to pass this bill and not have it go down under a point of order behind the scenes, that you don't hear a lot about the staff, but Tony Barcelona, I know while we were having a 4th of July weekend, Tony was here working. Tony, fabulous, thank you. And I want to thank what we now call the Blues, the new Blues, and the women, the men, the churches that came and stood up. And through the leadership, the pro-life groups that organized all of this, Joe, Elizabeth, Kylie, Carol, Ann, Hedinger, that brought in just busloads of people to counter the chaos that was going on. And it really was the hand of God. But I want to say, in all of that, we would not be here today were it not for our governor, Governor Rick Perry. His commitment to the protection of the preborn and women. This legislation honors both. And Governor, your legacy for this great state will be one of economic prosperity and opportunity for every individual. But more importantly, your eternal legacy will be a defender of life. It has been an honor and privilege to serve in the Texas House under your tenure, and the 10 years, as both you and Governor Dewhurst pointed out, all the things that we've done for women and for the cause of life. And may God bless you as you begin your next season of life. And may God continue to bless our beloved state of Texas.
Again, an amazing display of courage and strength, intellect, scientific evidence that was laid out by some pretty extraordinary doctors on the House and the Senate floor in particular. My pastor, who is here, Jody, tells me on a regular basis that eternity is a really long time. And so the things that we do in this temporal world are going to have a long impact. And so we thank you all for your prayers of encouragement during this very difficult time. And nobody performed with more aplomb, with more professionalism, with more calmness. And I've got to think that there were literally thousands of people praying for Senator Hager's calmness as he performed an amazing act of reliability, of professional,ism, of intellect. I'm not sure that in my 28 years I have seen a more professional, appropriate performance on the Senate floor than Senator Hager.
Thank you, Governor, for those very, very kind words. It means a lot to me. As I stand here today, there's been so many things that have already been said that I would echo. First, I have to say thank you again to Senator Nelson. Her leadership in the Senate has been remarkable. Her patience, her strength, and as she often says, as a former teacher, she laid down the rules. But the interesting thing is, regardless of which side, the emotions and your passion runs deep on this very sensitive, delicate issue of life and women's health care in Texas. Senator Nelson had the respect of everybody that was in that Senate. My good friend Jody Laubenberg, we entered the House of Representatives together back in 2003. But I can tell you we talked more in this last month than we've talked in a decade. And I'm looking for an opportunity maybe not to talk for the next month. So, but her strength, her patience has been remarkable. And you did a fantastic job, Jody. Thank you for standing up for us. I want to thank the governor, the lieutenant governor. I want to thank my colleagues in the Senate. I want to especially thank my good friend across the aisle, Senator Lucio. Today is a very proud day in Texas history. I never thought ever in my life that I would be part of a bill signing ceremony such as this here today. This will literally change the lives of millions in Texas. Not just today in 2013, but for the future and for eternity. Today is an important day. I can tell you there has been no other piece of legislation that I have ever worked on, nor any that I will ever work on, that has not weighed so heavy on my mind, on my heart and literally on my soul. It has weighed day in and day out for months. My staff can attest to that, and I say thank you for everything of helping me get to this day today, to make a difference in people's lives, to make a difference in so many people's lives, none of which whom we will ever know, but we are making a difference. This has weighed heavy. It will continue to weigh heavy because this has changed my life. But it has changed my life and the life of many for the better. Texas is better after signing this legislation today. As the husband, and some of you have heard me say this, of a very strong, independent Texas woman, of the father of 3 beautiful little children, 2 daughters that I think are almost stronger than their mother. I know that we have made a great stride in women's health in Texas, and we have made a great stride to improve the quality of life for so many unborn here in Texas. This has been a difficult journey, but it is one that's been important. I will tell you just very quickly, as the governor mentioned, the amount of prayers of people that have been providing for me. Last Sunday, we were in Sunday school, and as we went around, the question was, tell us one thing about your summer. When it came my turn, and of course this was last Sunday, one of the friends of mine said, "So Glenn, what have you been doing?" And I will tell you that I mentioned briefly about a few moments that I've been able to share with my wife and my 3 wonderful children, but I shared a story that I mentioned to the governor just a few moments ago, that on that day on Friday, I started the day with a couple of emails from a few pastors, friends of mine, and I told the group that day, and I told a few people, you have to believe in the power of prayer. The power of prayer that day was immense. And so what I want to say today is thank you. Thank you for believing. Thank you for your faith. And thank you for knowing that in Texas today, the signing of House Bill 2 is making an immense measure to increase women's health and to also protect so many lives in Texas. May God bless you. May God bless Texas. And thank you for everything that you've done.
Thank you. Well done again. And I will just leave you with one last thing, not just for you, but for all of the participants standing here on the stage. I want you to go home. I want you to be able to answer the next time you're asked in your Sunday school class, what are you going to do the rest of the summer? And it can be a host of really fun things with your wife and children. And as soon as you get that transportation bill to my desk, you will know that you'll be free to do that.